All right, so I was watching this video last night, as you guys can see from the title and thumbnail on the Piers Morgan show again. Uh, it was a normal video up until the point that we're about to go up to or go into, right? It's basically the main thing that we're going to get into is Tim Pool, a member of, I believe, the Bulwark. He's I've seen him a couple times. I don't really follow that network or anything like that, or watch his specific videos or whatever. But classic liberal. That's about as far as it goes. No progressive ideals or anything like that, from what I can see. So just like your normal liberal, and then you have Kari Lake, a hardcore MAGA conservative, as we all know, huge following on X, and from just the MAGA right. And Tim tries to do this thing with Wajahat Ali, another guy I just mainly see on Piers' show. Don't really know anything. I don't want to characterize their politics too much, but just from what I've seen, Tim or Wajahat Ali was posting Charlie Kirk's quotes on X during his memorial, and Piers found, I guess, problems with that, even though it was just his words. And obviously, Kirk's words are harmful. So, I guess he found it offensive, like we all do, right? But of course, when it's aimed at the left or minority groups, it doesn't matter. But when it's aimed or just simply tweeted during his memorial, it's a problem, which is weird. But staying on the main point, Tim, classic liberal, like I said, is disavowing what Wajahat did there, saying it was wrong, or it just didn't sit good with him, I guess, that he was tweeting during his memorial with his quotes or whatever. Me, I don't give a fuck. Like, who cares, right? I mean, the right has done way worse things than that. Like, he's just tweeting his words. And then Tim obviously looking to get this kumbaya moment, I'd say, of left and right come together. We should all be able to say that we shouldn't be doing this during his memorial, and we can all move past this. And of course, in my head, I was already thinking, dude, this isn't going to fucking work. These people don't like you. These people don't like any. Even if you're at the middle's here and the left is literally right here, if you're on this side of that spectrum, they will shit on you no matter what. It doesn't matter. So Tim is looking for this kumbaya moment, and then Kari Lake is just here, hammering him. Oh, you criticized Charlie, you criticized Donald Trump. Damn right I did. They're fascists. What the fuck? The things that they're doing, I mean, come on, bro. Of course I'm criticizing them, and they're trying to turn this criticizing game into a crime. I'm going to get into the video, but I just want to say, that liberalism isn't going to work with these people. These people are mad at you. The guy even says, I believe, after he speaks, he's like, I'm still mad. I'm mad. I'm angry. And he just goes on this really mad tantrum. And it's like, bro, chill. It's like, calm down, bro. And, we've already tried this kumbaya shit. It's not going to work. Even when Erica Kirk herself went on there and said she forgave the killer, that was a big moment. Me myself, I wouldn't even have done that. A big moment. And then Donald Trump gets on there and says, I hate my opponents. I hate my opponents. Like, bro, you can't turn down the temperature. This is what Tim was trying to do, and this is what liberals try to do, which don't work. They try to turn down this temperature with Trump, and like I said, with that kumbaya moment he tried to do, didn't work. And then, even Erica Kirk tried to do a kumbaya moment, and then Donald Trump fucks it all up. In my eyes, at this point, we can have the kumbaya in 2028. It's not going to work. These people are deranged. These people do not care about anything. They will fall, and they'll do whatever Donald Trump says. If he hates his opponents, they hate the opponents. So, there's just no way. If they can't come together after that, after Kirk, what happened there and what Erica Kirk went on there and said, and you still saying I hate your opponents, it's raps. It's over. We'll see you in 2028. Any kumbaya moment, it ain't gonna happen till 2028. I'll tell you that right now. And it is what it is. We've tried that. The ball's in their court and they don't want to play. So I don't know what else to say. So let's get into the video, guys. I'm sorry for yapping, but yeah, I mean that kumbaya shit is done. Over.
By it all. Do you know that's a very honest? It's a very honest thing.
Can I respond just a little bit to that?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I got dragged there, and I agree that the person who shot our friend is the one responsible. You came on and tried to blame it on guns. It is a madman who did a terrible thing. But where did he get indoctrinated? Where did he change his viewpoints? And it has been a constant.
Let's start here. What do you mean change your viewpoints? Where did he change his viewpoints, Kari? Kari, he was, if you want to see where he got indoctrinated, let's look at his family first. This kid is a young kid. It's not like this is an old man where he's been indoctrinated or something like this. Let's look at his parents. All MAGA conservatives. The grandmother said that she doesn't know a single Democrat. Let's look there, but of course they don't want to look there. They want to say he was radicalized in like the 6 months he was in college or whatever. Or, you know, they just want to keep blaming institutions so they can indoctrinate Republican narratives into schools. That's what they eventually really want. And they're trying to claim that, you know, leftism is all in colleges or high schools, whatever professors they want to blame it on. That's not it. It's actually telling them to critically think, and you don't like critical thinkers, just like the people who created colleges. It wasn't made for it to be critical thinkers. They wanted a bunch of workers. So now you want to use that same ideology and say, oh, let's fill in a bunch of right-wing indoctrination, which isn't going to happen, idiotic, and shouldn't happen, but that's definitely what you guys want to do.
And Tim, you're in the media. I assume you would agree that you're in the media. I've seen you on all kinds of, on many different shows, and you have espoused many viewpoints that have been very, very hateful toward the right. And so I think it's time to take, you know, responsibility for it.
But this is the thing, Kari. And this is the game you're playing. Is that people have said things, and that we need to figure out where this guy got radicalized. That's true. We need to figure out where.
See that now he's trying to be apologetic. Like, no, I don't like you guys. Like that's what he should be saying. I don't like you guys. The president of the United States just said he doesn't like me, so I don't like you. You cannot possibly. Kari Lake wants you to think, oh, you spewed bad rhetoric on the right, because the right are horrible. The people on the right are horrible, especially you. You people are the ones that want to turn up the temperature on people and censor people and this, that, and the third, just a bunch of shit, which we can go over and what I've been going over on my YouTube channel every day for the past 2 months. You know, it's you guys. You guys are the problem. I don't know what else to say. You know, if Donald Trump comes on the national TV and tells me that he hates me, like, I'm sorry. I don't like you guys. Yes, I don't like Republican narratives, and I'm going to tell it how it is. You're not going to make me apologize for shitting on bad people. Like what?
Kari got radicalized. I don't think that there's, if you have kids, you know what 22-year-olds watch. I don't think there's any reason to believe that this 22-year-old was like watching MSNBC or something. Like we should figure out where he got radicalized. I agree with that. If you look at the carvings on his bullets, like this guy was deep into gamer culture. Like this guy was I'm deeply concerned about the social media companies and TikTok and YouTube and X feeding people very divisive stuff.
Why are we hiding the elephant in the room? Why are we hiding the elephant in the room?
He's trying to blame on X.
Just to say, oh, you've said mean things about MAGA, so you're responsible for this. That's crazy. That is not.
I do have kids, though. I have a 21 and a 22-year-old, so I have kids right at the age of the killer. And you know what my kids tell me? Mom, the garbage that's been in culture, what they've taught us at school, what they've taught us at summer camp, that has played into many people in their generation hating folks who are conservative. They've seen it. My son's at school. He talks about the radical teachers. I said, okay, you've talked about the leftist teachers. Tell me you've got at least one or two who would be conservative. He said, there's 0 professors who are conservative on our campus.
But who would want to be conservative? First off, of course, there's more educated people that are on the left. I mean, I didn't even go to college, but you know, if you just critically think, which is what I advocate for, you don't need to go to college. Which I guess you could say I agree with the right on that one. But if you could just critically think, use the internet. I mean, how could you possibly turn to the right? What do the right do for anybody? Like, I mean, these people cut Social Security, cut Medicaid, cut Medicare. I mean, the list goes on. What they do. I can't see how you could possibly go for the right if you're just educated simply. So of course there's going to be more left wing professors and whatever you want to call it. Truly, when I think of the right, all I think of is those cuts, deporting people that you don't like, trying to censor the Smithsonian, trying to bomb Iran on behalf of Israel, sending money to Israel, even though I know Democrats do that too. Those are the liberals. I'd like to stop doing that. I mean, what else do they stand for? I don't know. I don't know. Besides, I guess they cut taxes sometimes. That can be good, but the things that come with the tax cuts are horrible. So their tax cuts are basically null and void. So, I mean, these people don't stand for anything. I don't see why I should ever vote for the right, or anybody educated should go for the right. I'm sorry.
Yes.
With this murder,
Kari,
this
the
guy
number one killer of children and young teens in America, tragically, in the past 2 years, is guns. We have more guns. I'm just saying this. This is the fact. The number one killer of children and teens in the United States of America, and I think this is a sobering moment for everyone, because I got kids too, is guns. We have more guns, Pierce, than people. Now, I'm not saying that there's a lot of people who have Second Amendment. They're very responsible for the guns. But this 22-year-old Tyler, who was radicalized online, like Tim said, we don't know what's happening with him. He had clear access to guns. And I would hope that this is a moment where some people say, you know what? A majority of gun owners are very responsible. They are in America. That's also a fact. But maybe having this easy access to AR-15 style weapons, maybe just having some.
Except the difference here, everyone knows my view about the gun issue, and ultimately I concluded this is an issue Americans have to work out themselves in their own country. And I got that message, which I think is completely reasonable. I'd feel the same way if Americans were telling us how to lead our lives here. So fair enough. But Eric, you know, one of the things about that argument, which I think doesn't really apply here, is it looks like he just took his grandfather's old rifle. It wasn't a high-powered AR-15 he had personally gone and bought from a store where you could have a debate about whether someone like him should have had the access and so on. He just took his grandfather's old rifle. I'm not sure how you stop that happening, however many new laws you bring in for gun control. But Eric, your response to Tim in particular, right? Tim, you know, that was a powerful thing that Tim was saying there. And I completely understood what he was saying. It really resonated with me because the Charlie Kirk killing moved me a lot. I'm sure it did all of us in different ways, but it profoundly moved me, not least because, a bit like Tim, a bit like others on this panel, we've all got to go out and take part in debates and events and so on. And I defy anyone not to have been thinking or talking to their families about what this means, right, going forward, right? If we can't have debate in public without people wanting to kill us, where does that take us? However, Tim, with respect, however, you know, lively these panels get, and however much you may dislike the tone of it, at least we don't want to shoot each other, right, and kill each other. We're prepared to debate with each other. But Eric, what did you think about what Tim said?
I think Tim is being an opportunist right now, as I've seen Tim all over the media, trashing Republicans, certainly trashing people like me, MAGA first people, America first people. I remember Tim, this moment of inflection, retrospective inflection on your part, admirable. Okay. Here's the problem though. It's not the guns. It's not the radicalization in schools. It's not the hyper rhetoric that the left is delivering. It's all of it, Pierce. It's all of it. You want to talk guns? You want to talk about in the state of, in many states, but in the state of Florida, if you have a medical marijuana license, you cannot get an open.
Okay, let me just stop it there for a second. We're probably close to the end, but this proves you cannot say anything to these people. You cannot say anything to these people. They will still try to say, oh, because you criticized the right, you are now advocating for what happened to Kirk or something along those lines is what they're insinuating. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, see, this apologetic thing that Tim was trying to do, it doesn't work. Like I've been saying, I'm gonna let the video finish and then I'm gonna talk more. But I just want to put that out there. They don't care what you say. It doesn't matter what you say. In their heads, you have already fucked up by just being on the left. Simply.
Carry, you cannot get a gun. You cannot have the same allowed gun control laws that other people have because you may be under the influence of marijuana when you're holding a firearm. If you've been mentally institutionalized, you cannot get a gun. There's the elephant in the room here right now is that this guy, Wajid said he had access to guns. He had proximity to guns. He also had proximity to the trans community. His boyfriend was transitioning. Okay, there is a common denominator
Not
here.
Confirmed either.
Almost too frequently, certainly by if you take it by the rate number of actual trans people in the world or in America, it's like 1.5%. The shooters, you have this shooter had access to or proximity to a trans boyfriend who he may be been radicalized by.
Again, put the transgender into the roles of shooters, and they commit less than 1% of mass shootings. I guess what he's trying to pin the trans people on, that they do some type of shootings. I don't even know their angle on this trans thing, but they're obviously trying to pin them to some crime. I don't know what their obsession is, but that's obviously what he's trying to do.
You had Minnesota recently, trans shooter. You had Nashville, trans shooter. It goes on and on. So the proliferation of trans
the Nashville
murderers is at a much higher rate than they actually are in the general population. It's
Eric, that's a lie, and there's no need.
It's
there's
not
no
a lie.
There's no need to attack.
Look, that's a lie.
You just literally have increased the temperature. If you want to lower the temperature, and I think we all agree on this, Erica Kirk, what she said was the following.
I don't want to lower the temperature.
She said forgiveness and love.
You missed
Donald Trump, wait.
I don't
Speaking
want to
of
lower
lowering the temperature, Donald Trump, I don't care if he's MAGA, he's the president. He's the president of all Americans. He could have and should have used that moment in front of the world to follow Erica's lead and just lower the temperature.
But you haven't.
What you have failed to do today is you have increased the temperature and you're attacking transgender people.
Wajid, let me just jump in. Let me just jump in, Wajid.
Threat in America
let me just challenge you on that point.
And the DOJ just scrubbed it.
Wajid, let me just.
If we want to keep our kids safe,
let me just jump in.
I'm gonna cut it there. So I cut it there because I mean, you guys got the gist of it, right? Wherever you are on the left side of the political spectrum, they don't care. They think that you're insane already because you've criticized the right. And if you criticize the right, that means you were inherently trying to endanger the right. And now we have to get bodyguards because now all the lefties are crazy and whatever next excuse they have. And they're trying to, or at least in Pierce's case, he's trying to still hammer home this you're not turning down the temperature, that over and over again. You condemn this, you condemn that. And while he's doing this, the president of the United States is literally getting on stage and saying, I hate my enemies. You can't name one Democrat that has done that. So it's absolutely ridiculous that you're trying to hammer a couple of influencers on criticizing the right. Or if they call them a fascist, which they are a fascist, Donald Trump especially, you're trying to hammer them for telling the truth, and this guy's up here literally saying, I hate my opponents. Nobody on the left is saying that. I mean, this isn't going to work. Like I said, this moderate liberal thing isn't going to work. There's not going to be a kumbaya thing until 2028, until we get them out. It just is what it is. These people don't want to turn down the temperature. you can't get a group of here's what the situation is. The left are firefighters. They're trying to douse down all the wildfires and wherever you want to place the setting. And then you got a bunch of people just trying to light fires all over the forest while they're doing that. The right are still, they have a flamethrower and they're literally going around doing this, at all the trees there. And then there's like a bunch of them. They're all just trying to start this fire. And then the left is trying to dose down the water or trying to get rid of all the flames, and it's not working. So, I mean, you literally cannot turn down the heat. There's still people trying to light this flame. It's just not going to happen. If that was a real life situation, which is the closest thing I can think of right now, you'd have to arrest the people trying to start this fire, right? But you can't do that here. So it is what it is. And then the main guy won't turn it down. It is what it is. You can't stop it. So like the liberal left is just done. I mean, they're just literally done. I don't know what else to say. One reason, let's take last year's election. The liberal left, they couldn't. One reason why they lost, and I don't know if I'm going on a little bit of tangent here, but bear with me. One reason that they left it or that they lost is because they couldn't pinpoint what they've done exactly to make Americans better off or whatever, and the right was hammering that, and anybody that pays attention to politics knows the CHIPS Act was great. The Inflation Reduction Act was all right. The infrastructure bill was definitely good. They did good things, right? But it's not anything where it's like, oh, bang, that impacted my life like insanely. And to be honest, that there's some truth to that, right? There's some truth to, there's not a piece of legislation that where it's just like boom, it hit me and my life got instantly better because of that. And that is a top critique that I have, and a lot of people have with government overall, because there really hasn't even been anything like that, like big legislation where it actually hits people like right away. Besides, I'd probably say like Obamacare, that probably hit a lot of people well. Like that helped a lot of people get on healthcare, and if you have pre-existing conditions, that wiped that away, so you can still get healthcare. I'd say that was a big thing that came out, and even that was a right-wing thing that used to be called Romney Care. So, I mean, the liberals haven't really done anything, and definitely not the fucking Republicans, but the liberals haven't like delivered on this insane legislation where it just hits everybody and everybody is better off, after the legislation. And the right haven't either, but they think that Donald Trump is the man to do it because he's a populist and he do some popular ideas, but he's doing that exact opposite, and he's a fake populist. He's really good at being a fake one, but he definitely is a fake one. And yeah, so I mean, I don't want to see another liberal person if they're not going to do anything, right? I want to see a progressive person like myself get in there and do progressive policies where they actually help people, right? Something like Tim Walz, of course. What did like Tim Walz and when he got in, I don't remember what their rank was in happiness, but now Minnesota is second. Some things off the top of my head of what Tim Walz has done in Minnesota: free lunch meals for all children. That was a good policy he put in. Another one is a child tax credit. I think it was like $1,750 or $2,000 or $1,500, around that range, between the ranges of $1,500 and $2,000. I can't remember what it was, but that reduced. That and other things has reduced child poverty by 1/3. So that is the type of things you want to see. Paid family leave. That's one thing that I actually agree with Charlie Kirk on. That's probably the only thing that I can think of off the bat where I actually really agreed with him on policy, is the paid child credit or paid family leave. Sorry. I can't remember how much that is, but I think it's like maybe like four. Was it? It's between 3 months and 6 months, I believe. I think I don't remember what it was, but I know it's paid family leave, and that's another great thing that would help people out. You got to start putting in policies, and Tim Walz also put in a tax on like investments over $1 million or something like that, or something over $1 million. You get an extra tax, which obviously, if you need that to pay for cutting child poverty by 1/3, I'm all for it. Let's tax them. Yeah, and just things like that. That things like that, which hit families, and they say, "Oh, this is going to help me do this now, and help my family now," and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm really done with the liberals on rhetoric. They're trying to do this kumbaya with the right. It's literally impossible now with Donald Trump and his constituents, who are literally just cultists. Anybody MAGA Republican cultists, as you can see with Kari Lake. If Donald Trump says he hates his opponent, she hates it. She hates her opponents. Leftist, progressive, liberal, doesn't matter. Anywhere on the left side of the political spectrum, she hates. So, that's fine, but, call it what it is. And it's just simply impossible. And the left, the liberals didn't do anything where it's just like an insane thing where it impacts anybody's lives. So why would I keep voting for them? I just vote for the progressives that will actually do something for people. So that's where I want to get at today. Obviously, just the liberal way of thinking is just done with me, and I just don't see. I just don't see where that helps the left these days. I don't see why I would ever vote for a liberal in terms of a primary. I could never bring myself to vote for the Republicans, especially if they're like Donald Trump. You know what I mean? So, I'd vote Democrat either way. But, I'm not going to let up on the liberals, and I'm just going to keep, obviously, promoting the progressives. This is why Minnesota is so popular. This is why I'm blanking on the name of the guy. I believe it's New Hampshire's new senator, or he's running for senator. I made a video on it, but I can't remember what it was. He has progressive ideals that's very popular. Bernie always has. He's been popular. The liberals try to push him out, or they really did. And who else? AOC, people like that. People like that have good ideas, and I think that we need to give that a shot. I think we given everybody a shot. They've all failed because a lot of people still don't trust the government on anything, and the only thing that they can even name, like regular people that don't pay too much about politics, the only thing that legislation they can name is when they got those checks from Trump during the pandemic. So let's give something to people where they remember it, and something they can use in everyday life and make life better. And that's the progressive left, the popular left. The liberals, regular conservatives, and the MAGA conservatives have not done shit, and we already knew that they weren't. So let's give the progressives a shot, is what I say. So that's going to be the end of the video, guys. That might have been a little bit of a rant, but yeah, that's what I got out of that video, and that's what I was thinking of that video when I watched Tim Miller tried to do that kumbaya thing with the right, and they're literally insane. So I knew that shit wasn't going to work off the bat. So that's going to be the end of this one, guys. All my socials are going to be down below, and I'm going to have a link to donate to independent media if you guys want to donate to independent media like myself. And yeah, just subscribe and like helps just as much, and if not even more. So I appreciate that, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.